I want to thank you all for joining the Joint Warfighter Track, the Member Showcase Overflow event. My name is Derek, and I will be your host today. As a note, there will be no Q&A at this time, so please send any questions you may have to ecosystem@tradewindai.com. Without any further ado, up now we have Kevin and Bill from Resilient Cognitive Solutions. So, Kevin and Bill, take it away.
All right, thank you, Derek. Really appreciate that. As Derek said, I'm Kevin Gluck, and Chief Scientist at Resilient Cognitive Solutions. With me here today is Bill Elm, our President and Founder. Bill, want to say hi?
Hello, everyone.
We're just thrilled to have this opportunity to connect with the Tradewind ecosystem. And in fact, the very existence of the JAKE and its Tradewind ecosystem is a testament to the fact that no question, there have been extraordinary technological advances in machine learning and artificial intelligence in recent years. There are reminders of this daily for those who are paying attention, as we see increasingly capable image recognition and generation systems, increasingly capable language processing, translation, and generation, and even humanoid robots that do parkour. And yet, each of these incremental successes also comes with reminders that they are dangerously fragile. We see pixel-level adversarial image manipulations that render everyday objects unrecognizable. We see bizarre responses that seem to be to unasked questions. And we see the world's most powerful pattern matchers reflecting back and accentuating some of our society's basest and most undesirable biases. The Georgetown Center for Security and Emerging Technology recently released a report highlighting the current and increasing threat of AI accidents as major corporations and governments accelerate the development and adoption of these technologies. Their concerns are well placed. I mean, a weapons system described as undesirable, bizarre, or fragile should just never be fielded. Just this past week, results came to light from AAA's testing of active driving assistance features, some of the features that are already on cars in the marketplace, showing frequent failures of these automated systems and resulting in the, quote, need for constant human attention. Recent assessments by Gartner, also highlighted in presentations by Carnegie Mellon's Software Engineering Institute, indicate the majority of AI and ML systems end up shelved. We're talking upwards of 80%. Now, stop and think about that for a moment. The enormous investment of time and energy and money going into the development of these exquisite technologies, with 4 out of 5 of them to be stuck on the shelf. Most of the time, these systems do not fight when brought out of the rarefied air of the development environment and into the field. What is the explanation for this? They don't interpret, they don't understand, they are generative in the absence of any real creativity. The fundamental problem is that they are not being engineered for resilience as joint cognitive systems. So I'll pause there to give Bill an opportunity to get into the discussion and describe how RCS is creating the future of AI-enabled tradecraft.
Thanks, Kevin. I'm Bill Elm, the President of Resilient Cognitive Solutions. I've been a cognitive systems engineer since 1982, coming out of 3 Mile Island. And the tendencies and traits that we're discussing today in terms of the AI ML efforts have really been human-machine teaming traits that we've seen all the way back to advanced control room design following TMI. So the message here is that to achieve Dean Hebert's goal for the National AI Engineering Initiative and address that 83% failure to deploy, and also the multiple requests we've gotten from various programs about why the AI ML seems to work well in development and work well during testing, but is not successful when deployed, is not accepted by users. It doesn't thrive in real world situations in the fight. That all comes together toward that message that Kevin mentioned about the joint cognitive system. So he'll talk some more about that background here in a minute, but I just wanted to kind of summarize our kind of current position on this, and I kind of call it weaponizing AI. So it's really very similar to the invention of the transistor as a technology. Bell Labs made the scientific breakthrough that proved that junction effective and worked, that became the essence of a transistor. But it took a company like Sony or Panasonic to build the transistor radio to achieve some operational benefit from that raw science. And we see that kind of same parallel happening, where the AI theory is sort of the focus of the technology development, but there needs to be a broader perspective to weaponize that raw capability and that raw power, so it performs in the hands of real mission owners on real world problems at scale, at speed. As an example of that, RCS is participating in Army Futures Command Long Range Precision Fires program, and has developed, in fact, a very powerful cognitive affordance. You see it as a visualization on the screen, but it has sophisticated embedded services that go all the way back to some very sophisticated AI ML reasoning engines in the service layer, and that interface, that cognitive affordance, that is really about dealing with very fast-paced interactions with a very sophisticated set of new weapons capabilities in a very target complex environment. And the system name is SHOT, and it's General Richardson described it as the first operator's application that's running on an Intel platform. So Army Futures Command is very excited about this sort of next generation decision support as a major enabler for releasing that the power of that AI ML effort. So there's this is a command and control application, and we've got since spinning the company out as a veteran-owned small business 15 years ago, we've had a lot of experience with technology-driven programs and converting them into true human-machine teams, what we call a joint cognitive system, using this process. We've recently been working with an Intel community customer to sort of boil that down into a very streamlined process for detecting these prevalent, common characteristics that we're calling brittlenesses, that are recurring themes that we see in every program that comes to us. They have some number of these known patterns of brittleness, these inherent characteristics that will fail under pressure, which is why we kind of use a metallurgy kind of an example of a brittle crystal boundary, like the metallurgists do as they're doing stress strain testing. The result of that is we've got about 28 of these very detectable, common kinds of brittlenesses, and on average over the last maybe 5 plus years, I've been kind of keeping score on this. And the average project that comes to us has somewhere between 6 or 8 of these 28 brittlenesses. We've had projects come in with as many as a dozen. So there's a great body of proven work that can make a major leap forward very rapidly in the ability of breakthrough AI ML technologies to be converted into a cognitive affordance, to be adapted into that sort of mission effective power that can really get the operational benefit of the capability. And with that, I'm gonna turn it back over to Kevin to talk a little bit more about our background and our processes. Kevin.
Yeah, thanks, Bill. So Resilient Cognitive Solutions is a veteran-owned small business that uses decades of cognitive science research to design human-machine joint cognitive systems, or JCS, for revolutionary decision performance in difficult, mission-critical, high-value environments. The joint cognitive system is the socio-technical intersection of the biological intelligence of people, the computational capabilities of machines, and the functional cognitive requirements of the mission. And that JCS perspective is baked into all aspects of our corporate mission and culture. So the JCS provides important system level perspective, but solid engineering requires rigorous process. We developed a 4th generation applied cognitive systems engineering process that enables use-inspired research and development while improving decision-making performance in these complex domains. Our approach produces revolutionary representational design that brings actionable information to life using intuitive and compelling cognitive affordances for systems that perform at scale and at speed. It's kind of like ergonomics for the brain. RCS provides the world's only full spectrum RDT&E process for integrating cognitive systems engineering, knowledge elicitation, advanced technologies, and design innovation with state-of-the-art software engineering and decision-centered testing. On the right side of the screen, you see what we deliver. RCS is completely tailored to design and deliver our resilient cognitive solutions at scales ranging from individual display widgets to full stack decision support environments for C2 teams and supervisory control. Our solutions take on the challenge of translating data into useful information, precisely the information operators need to maintain mission awareness and make effective decisions while supervising or teaming with sophisticated agent technologies. Listen, at the end of the day, we must have rigorously engineered resilient cognitive solutions if we're going to overcome those brittleness threats we were talking about earlier and make progress toward the AI-enabled weapons system future that the Navy, in fact, all the services and the JAIC are envisioning. The thumbnails that you see on the right side of the screen here are not merely good ideas or concepts. Each of those thumbnails represents an actual product delivery to a customer. On the previous slide, Bill described to you the work we're doing currently to revolutionize long-range precision fires. As you can see here, that's just one of dozens of examples of our work. RCS has a proven delivery track record, certainly in the DoD and IC, and also in work across other sectors, such as in healthcare, energy, and transportation. And it's through our extensive experience base delivering these solutions and the patterns that emerged from our internal analysis of those experiences that we're able to engage so successfully with a diverse collection of partners and colleagues in government, industry, and academia. And it's also what enables us to offer the unique opportunity Bill is going to tell you about next. Jump back in here, Bill.
Thanks, Kevin. When we were kind of putting together this very short summary, normally it takes me about 2 days to describe cognitive systems engineering and kind of get on my soapbox and take all that time. We boiled that down to just a few minutes as an introduction. As Kevin mentioned, these patterns and that brittleness pattern that I was describing before, we want to offer that to the Tradewind ecosystem. So if you have concerns about how proactively you're preventing these brittlenesses, or if your current effort may contain those brittlenesses, we're offering to the Tradewind ecosystem a free brittleness evaluation. You can scan a QR code; it'll launch an email back to us, or you can send us an email directly, at info@resilientcognitivesolutions.com there on the page, and we'll give you a quick overview of how many of those 28 brittlenesses might be lurking in your effort. From that awareness, we hope that you'll be able to step back and realign and consider the joint cognitive system impact of the technology and the effort that you currently have fielded. There's all the statistics about the cheapest point to fix a bug is 100 times cheaper if you catch it up front versus as a patch later. We want to offer this as a way for you to get ahead of the curve on getting some of those proven brittlenesses that have been experienced across a wide variety of decision-making domains, from operating room anesthesia, air traffic control pilots, command and control, intel analysis, financial analysis, cancer diagnosis. These common cognitive brittlenesses are lurking, and they're relatively easy to detect. And then there are also patterns of response to correct them. So if you're concerned at all that you may have some baked in brittleness, we'll offer you this assessment to flag those for you in the hope that that'll help you step back and avoid those pitfalls. This would be a great place for questions, but we have no live questions. So Kevin, is there anything you want to jump back in with here? We have just a couple minutes left. Is there something I missed?
I'll just wrap by encouraging our audience, either those folks who are here synchronously with us today or people who are watching this video in the future, since it's being recorded, to take advantage of this free brittleness evaluation opportunity. Use the QR code or draft an email yourself. Send us an email, make contact. We can help. Don't end up on the shelf with the technologies that you're developing. Thanks very much, everybody, for listening. We really appreciate your time and attention today, and have a good one.
Thank you, Bill and Kevin. I think that was a great presentation. That was actually our last presentation for today. So I want to thank everyone again for attending the Tradewind Member Showcase Overflow event, Navy Edition. Recordings of today's videos will be available in about 24 to 48 hours after this event. As a reminder, please email questions to ecosystem@tradewindai.com. And that's all, folks.